H. Here are our DFS picks for the Dolphins at Steelers Monday Night Football Showdown. And we are building around the best combination of ceiling, price, and leverage with clear reasons for each choice. We want to start at quarterback because that shapes the slate. Aaron Rodgers at 14,700 has a dash rank of 91 and a projection of 16 against Miami, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall by opponent rank 17. He's coming off 22 fantasy points 1 game ago and 4 2 games ago, and he's projected to be around 1% owned, which gives us massive leverage on a 1 game slate. This is also a standalone island game, as covered in the article, noting Rodgers and the Steelers hosting the Dolphins on Monday Night Football, so we expect condensed ownership around skill players and QBs. Rodgers fits a contrarian captain path where passing TDs dominate. On the Miami side, Tua Tagovailoa at 14,400 carries a dash rank of 91 and a projection of 13 against Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 23. Recent production has been modest at 9, 6, and 7 fantasy points, and that aligns with articles highlighting that his season hasn't gone according to plan. Still, the matchup is favorable, and if we want to build to Miami passing stacks, Tua's efficiency can rebound in this spot. Our favorite captain is Devon Achane at 19,200. He brings slate-leading projection at 21 with a strong 22 fantasy points per game and recent production of 18, 22, and 25. He draws Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 23. At a projected 1% ownership, he's under-owned for his ceiling and dash rank 79. News around Achane at the deadline reinforced that teams valued him highly, and that kind of role, confidence, plus explosive per-touch efficiency makes him the most direct path to first place if Miami controls the game. Jalen Waddle at 10,800 is our priority Miami receiver. He carries a dash rank of 92, projects for 14, has averaged 14 fantasy points per game, and has recent outputs of 18, 7, and 8. Pittsburgh's defense is one of the worst overall by opponent rank 23, which plays into Waddle's downfield and intermediate separation. Articles around the trade deadline made clear Miami weren't consistent in trade demands for Waddle and ultimately kept him, which underscores his importance in this offense. We want him paired with either Tua or Achane in most builds. For a mid-range salary saver with role growth upside, we like Malik Washington at 8,700. He has a dash rank of 78 and projects for 8 against a defense that ranks as one of the worst overall by opponent rank 23. Ownership is around 1%. Mike McDaniel's comparison and nickname note in the article shows the staff is intentionally scheming him touches, which keeps him live for a spike game at low ownership. At tight end, Darren Waller at 6,600 is one of our favorite ways to balance salary without sacrificing upside. He has a dash rank of 92 and projects for 8, with recent games of 3, 7, and 0. Pittsburgh's defense is one of the worst overall by opponent rank 23, and articles indicate Waller's return isn't over, so at this price we're buying the role and red zone involvement in a favorable matchup. On the Pittsburgh side, outside of Rodgers, Jaylen Warren at 13,500 is our preferred bringback. He projects for 13 with recent 15, 12, and 13 fantasy points, and he faces Miami's middle-of-the-pack defense overall by opponent rank 17. Warren's all-around usage gives him a path to 20-plus points if Pittsburgh leans on him in the passing game to keep pace. We like kickers on this slate. Riley Patterson at 7,500 projects for 8, with recent 13, 14, and 11, and he benefits from Miami drives stalling in plus territory against a defense that has struggled overall. An article highlights his strong 86.7% field goal accuracy this season, which translates into stability. On the other side, Chris Boswell at 8,100 projects for 9 with recent 9, 1 and 4, and is currently projected at 0% ownership. In a showdown where points can be scarce or concentrated, this kind of leverage on a reliable kicker is a sharp way to diversify. Articles also underscore Boswell's reliability as a cornerstone of Pittsburgh's special teams. Defenses are fine as low-cost pivots, but we are underweight overall. The Dolphins' defense at 5,400 projects for 6 against a Steelers team with a middle-of-the-pack. Defense overall by opponent ranks 17 and sits around 1% ownership. It's simply a leverage play against Rodgers' stacks. The Steelers' defense at 6,000 projects for 8 with recent 4, 5, and 10. Facing Miami, who have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 24. We prefer kickers and skill correlates, but Steelers' D can make sense in builds where Miami struggles and Boswell Rodgers carry the scoring. For deep salary relief, Taj Washington at 200 is a pure punt. If he sees even a couple of schemed looks, he can unlock an Kane or dual QB build. We only use him when we need the salary to jam multiple studs. Julian Hill at 2,100 projects for 2, with ownership near 1%. He posted 2 fantasy points 3 games ago, and offers a contrarian double TE construction with Waller in larger fields. New Nick Westbrook-Ikhine at 3,000 projects for 3, and is a touchdown or bust flyer. We reserve him for a handful of lineups where we fade the chalk Miami pieces. Here's how we are constructing. Primary build, Captain Devon Achane. Pair with Jalen Waddle, bring back Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Warren, and round out with one of Malik Washington or Riley Patterson. Secondary stacks, Captain Jalen Waddle with Tua, and either Waller or Patterson, bring back Warren or Boswell. Contrarian build, Captain Aaron Rodgers at roughly 1% ownership with Boswell and Warren, bring back one of Kane or Waddle, and consider Dolphins D for negative correlation leverage. Why these choices? We prioritize Kane and Waddle because they get Pittsburgh, who have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 23, pairing elite ceiling with favorable matchup and strong dash ranks. We use Rodgers for leverage because he projects well, is proven in island games per the Monday Night Football coverage article, and is projected at only 1% ownership. We include Waller and Malik Washington due to price-adjusted roles and news signals suggesting intentional usage for Malik and an ongoing role for Waller. We backstop lineups with kickers because Patterson's accuracy highlighted in the article and Boswell's reliability offers stable floors with real top 5 outcomes in a single-game slate. Our core pool centers on Kane captain, Waddle, Rodgers leverage, Warren bringbacks, and Patterson or Boswell to stabilize lineup variance,